Welcome to Ultimate League, Season 3, Week 10. My agents negotiated a new deal, so I'm back again this week. This week, every game was a 6-pointer, and every team had something to play for. We'll start with reigning champions Dream Team, who played never losing this week. Both teams were coming off a win last week, and it saw the top scorers versus the best defence in the league. Both teams were desperate to win this week in order to keep up the pressure on Manchester's finest at the top. Dream Team had their full team back for the first time in a few weeks and were very confident going into this game as shown on Twitter. The game played out as expected, with Dream Team having most of the possession, but never losing defended very well. The two brothers Adam and Sam looked up for this one and both had good chances early on. The game was 0-0 at half time and Dream Team upped the pressure after the break.
My first music video, rock him, I was an extra. Run DMC ran rap, now runs a preacher. And we all the poor righteous teachers. Crush Ruben.
Bobby Ridgely went close from a free kick, and a superb pass from Tango set up a move to let Moen score late on in the second half. This was a massive result for Dream Team, with the only negative being Bobby being sent off for 2 yellow cards for handballs. Bayern Never Losing, on the other hand, will look to win next week in order to confirm their place in the gold tier. Let's hear from both teams.
We needed to win that, and I think we deserve to win it because we didn't have many chances anyway.
We had a lot of the ball today, but in the end, just that one crucial finish by Moen.
Good defence, never losing, played well.
Basically, I think it was a brilliant performance by the lads, and I think we all put in 110%. Now, as my manager said, we made one mistake and we got punished for it. Fair play to them, they're the champions. They've done it twice in a row. We've got to learn from our mistakes next time. And the goal tier, hopefully, inshallah, no more mistakes.
And as they always say, that's how the cookie crumbled. So, but next week we're bigger and better, don't you worry.
Moving on to the next game, Baroni versus Underdogs. After missing a sitter last week, Malik started this game back in goal. Baroni and Underdogs were both looking to win in this game in order to confirm their position in the gold tier. Underdogs started with a real pace, having early chances. They came close when Malik booted the ball against his own player and was only saved by the crossbar. This seemed to spur on Baroni, with them having some good chances, including this free kick which went close. Underdogs nearly scored on the break, with Sahel's chance coming close. Soon after this, Baroni opened the scoring with a great strike through Mohammed. They doubled their lead soon after with another good strike.
French Montana, the Red Cafe. Yeah, when I hear Waka, I hear ODB slang. I'm talking Wu-Tang, Raekwon, 2 Chainz, PMD, remind me of them Coke boys. Them Joey badasses, Uncle Murder boys. Grandmaster Flash, Red Alert, talking Cool Herb.
Underdogs tried fighting back in the second half, coming close again with some good chances, but it just didn't seem to be their day. The game finished 2-0 and leaves Underdogs' position in the gold tier under threat. Now let's hear from both teams before we go on to Manchester's finest.
Yeah, very, very good performance today. Everyone put a shift in, everyone did their job. We passed the ball well, played some nice football, scored 2 brilliant goals.
We're going for it next week.
Game 3, FC Iraq versus the league leaders, Manchester's finest. Manchester's finest had found life at the top difficult already, struggling to beat H&S last week. Iraq lost last week to TSEI, which also ended their chance in reaching the gold tier. They wanted to bounce back this week and put in a good performance against the league leaders. Creative player Amir came close to put Finest in the lead, but was denied by a good save from the goalkeeper. Finest had the better of the chances in the second half and should really have won this game. There were few chances for both sides, and it wasn't until the introduction of Faz, who started as a substitute, that Iraq's goal was threatened. Shaf worked tirelessly throughout the match but didn't have any clear-cut chances. Shaf had scored some valuable late goals for Finest in the recent weeks, but was taken off by captain Jabba with 5 minutes to go. The front man was fuming at this decision, and to be honest, I don't blame him. The captain's tactics have to come under scrutiny this week, with the 2 big decisions being Faz starting on the bench and Shaf being taken off 5 minutes before the end. Manchester's Finest lose another 2 key points. They remain undefeated, but their form seems to be dipping at the wrong time.
we were all over them. We just couldn't finish the game.
I think we gave him too much respect.
Yeah, like Eamon, we've known him for ages, but it counts for nothing like a game.
What are your thoughts on the game, Iraq?
Yeah, it was a very good game. I think they defended really well. I think our tactics from the get-go were they defend really well every game, really. Two big central defenders.
Defensively, not a problem, but if you don't get goals, we don't get points. Simple as that.
Game 4 saw TSEI play MFC in another crucial clash. This was a key game for both teams as both teams looked to get into the gold tier. We believe Riz had his full team this week, but like always we can never be sure. MFC started the game brightly, penning in TSEI. They welcomed back the midfielder Aji, who looked in good form this match. This game was physical at times, with Riz lucky to stay on the pitch with this high tackle. This was a fast-paced game, with TSEI having the more clear chances. However, the scoring was opened by MFC's striker Chris, after a great cut-in and a fantastic low shot beating the goalkeeper Amar. It didn't take long for TSEI to respond. They equalised from a corner when Andy Hallows side-footed in from the near post.
I see Molly is the new cocaine. Yeah, I see the rappers, man, popping champagne. The Beastie Boys, that Rick Rubin. And Big L was the lyrical king. And Bobby Brown was the R&B king. And we all wanted to be.
TSEI started the second half better. The danger signs were there for MFC when dead ball specialist Yusuf stepped up for another free kick. He was unlucky with his effort being cleared off the line. Bambi made another couple of good saves as MFC weathered the storm. MFC themselves looked threatening going forward, but this game seemed destined for a draw. MFC had a corner late on and Chris scored an amazing header, which seemingly defied the laws of physics. It clipped the near post on the way in and sealed all 3 points for MFC. MFC battled well for these 3 points and it puts them in good contention to be in the gold tier. TSEI see their good run ended and must win next week in order to ensure their place in the gold tier. It looks like it's coming down to the wire, and let's hear what the players had to say.
It was a very tough game. The first half I thought we were doing quite well until they scored and then put a bit of pressure on. Come a bit of a scrap, but I thought they did well. I thought Yusuf did well. Andy Hallows caused a lot of trouble.
Very strong player.
Well, very good player. Yeah, all in all, a very good game, and I think it was even. I think we just about edged it. But
we used to have a world-class striker in Fino.
Yeah, Fino, quality.
Gutted, absolutely gutted. This is the punishment when you don't take your chances. This is what happens. We clearly had the better chances in the game.
Yeah, I hit the post.
2 great goals by Chris. Give credit to him. The second goal couldn't do anything.
They battled
about
hard,
it.
and we just didn't take our chances. But inshallah next week. Inshallah next week we'll get a win and get into that goal tier. That's the aim.
Now moving our attention to the relegation battle, Game 5 sees JJGK play Heaton and Salford. Heaton and Salford are coming off a fine performance last week after gaining a point against Manchester's finest. JJGK appear to put their poor form behind them and show glimpses of what they did last season. It didn't take long for them to open the scoring, and they dominated this game from start to finish. We'll let you sit back and enjoy the goals, as this game finished 6-0.
Kendrick Lamar, Luda Ross, Wayne and Dre. 50 Future and Game, Drive Quest, Wale. And if we miss you, Puff Daddy do the remix. Things done change, but they stay the same. I see Molly is the new cocaine. I see the rappers with the big gold chains. A new Jesus piece with Chris Lighty's name. Biggie and Pac, East and West Coast Kings. Mary J. Blige, R&B Queen. G-Unit, Rough Rider, Mob Deep. DMX, Locks, Dip said we all in the same.
There's been several rumours about JJGK's players leaving, but they looked solid today and put in a very good performance overall. This was especially highlighted when Ali Shenang turned up in white for once. HNS will look to put this defeat behind them, as they have had a good run recently. They'll look to perform in the next 6 games in order to keep their position in the top league. JJGK have a tough game against MFC next week. And here's a few words from the players.
Kept a clean sheet and managed to score 6. You're hoping for more of the same next week?
Definitely. To be honest, we've suffered a lot of criticism, but we've never had our full-strength team. We still haven't even today. We had a lot of battling performances today, and that's what we needed. 6 goals, clean sheet, and it gives us a bit of breathing space going into the next game.
Game 6 saw Barcelona play Unity. Barcelona were favourites going into this game, despite their poor run of form recently. Barcelona were unable to get into the goal tier, but wanted to put in a good performance this week. Unity are rooted at the bottom of the table, having only gained 1 point in their past 9 games.
The microphone fiend, and Bobby Brown was the R&B king. Yeah, now every rapper wanna bang. What happened to the days we were all in the same gang? Missy and Temple and original dubstep, and Band Bada had our future.
The game did not go as expected as Unity showed more desire on the pitch. The scoring was opened by Captain Ahmed and they didn't look back after this opening goal. Barcelona had some chances following this, but Unity have a very good defensive unit and an excellent goalkeeper. Unity doubled their lead in the second half through striker Nasser.
Bought them lectures. My first music video, Rock Him, I was an extra. Run DMC ran rap, now runs a preacher. And we all the poor right.
From watching this game, it is evident that Barcelona's confidence is rock bottom, as you can tell from this third goal, which saw Toki's attempted clearance ricochet into his own goal off his defender. Barcelona looked dejected and out of ideas, but this win has come at the exact right time for Unity. Unity will look to build on this in order to stay in the division with some good results.
And haven't had our team, to be honest. I think we got the right balance today. Got the right team, got the right defence. And then we played together as a team, worked together, played some fantastic stuff, man. It could have been 4-5, 5-0.
Now moving on to the second division, we have a couple of big games to show you this week. First up, Gladiators versus MAB. We wanted to apologise for not being able to show Gladiators highlights last week due to technical issues. A win for Gladiators would see them jump to the top of the table if other results went their way. They looked well up for this game and produced an excellent performance. They are one of the best teams in the second division and are definitely promotion favourites. MAB themselves have been in relatively good form recently and they look to upset the odds in this game. There were plenty of goals in this game with Gladiators winning 5-3. We'll let you sit back and enjoy the action in this one.
Bumby, Pepsi, UGK, Master P. Have me listen to the sound from the new way. And I miss Outcast like people miss the Fuji. There's a Birdman watching over New Orleans. It's Scarface, never seen a thug cry till he seen his dog Nate singing hooks from the sky. Things done change, but they stay the same. I see Molly is the new cocaine. I see the rappers with the big gold chains. LL Cool J, Jai, Irv, Murder, yeah. Fat Joe, Big Pun, Cuban Link. We all want if I'm Mike in the Source magazine.
It's a long way to go yet, and by the end of it, we should be top of the table, which is exactly where we belong.
Game 2, Super 8s versus MIC. This was a top of the table clash, and last time these two teams met, Super 8s won 1-0. Super 8s have been in relatively poor form recently, having only picked up 3 points in the last 3 games. However, they still remain undefeated in this league. MIC, on the other hand, since losing to Super 8s, have won every game. The tension in this game was palpable, and both teams unfortunately didn't play at their usual high level. There were some good chances from both teams, but this game looked as if it was destined for a draw. It wasn't until Hasib scored very late on for Super 8, which sealed all 3 points for them. This win gets them on even points with Gladiators, with the top 3 teams in this division tied on 18 points.
And if we miss you, Puff Daddy do the remix. Things done change, but they stay the same. I see Molly is the new cocaine. I see the rappers with the big gold chains. A new Jesus piece with Chris Lighty's name. Biggie and Pac, he's the West Coast Kings. Mary J. Blige, R&B queen.
Alright, Hasib finds space, screams it home, and that's it. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. What a goal. Unreal, man.
Game 3 saw Sakis 8 play Jabba. These two teams have been inconsistent this season and explains why they're mid-table. Sakis 8 are unpredictable at times, being both brilliant and frustrating at times. Luckily for them, they produced an excellent performance this week, dominating throughout.
Refugee Republic.
They won comprehensively with a 5-2 scoreline, which saw them score some good goals. Sakis 8 remain mid-table, but will look to put on the pressure on the top 3 teams. The last game of the evening saw Nur Stars play Ulti Stars. Nur Stars, like Sakis 8, have been inconsistent, but they came up against Ulti Stars, who are yet to win in this league so far. The game in truth was very one-sided, with Nur Stars dominating the chances and the possession. They scored some excellent goals in this game, as they came out easy winners. The final score was 9-2, leaving Ulti Stars rooted at the bottom of the table. This win will be a good confidence booster for Nur Stars, and they'll look to press on in the following games.
And let her know that KRS is more than letters in the alphabet. She will I am it with her mommy. She like, Dad, let me teach you how to Dougie. Things done change, but they stay the same. I'm bumping Nas in the range down memory lane. Talib, Most Def, P.E. bought them lectures. My first music video, Rock Him, I was an extra. Run DMC ran rap, now runs a preacher. And we all the poor righteous teachers. Crush grooving, body moving. Rozelle, Dougie, Fresh, Bismarck had me beatboxing. And Kim Foxy and Eva, all warriors. Y'all MC like y'all not bees. Y'all Queen Latifah's. Look, pretty Nicki's in Ibiza. And every fella had a crush on Salt and Pepper. Yeah, she's so naughty by nature. Long live ASAP, written on the Wolfgang backpack. Things done change, but they stay the same. I see Molly is the new cocaine. Yeah, I see the rappers, man, popping champagne. Them Beastie Boys, that Rick Rubin. And Big L was the lyrical.
Yeah, basically, that's how we haven't won for like a few games now, so we have to be determined to win. And good job by the defence, first time. And by him, got about 5 assists in the game.
Yeah, I think we played well. I think what made the difference is our goalkeeper. We actually had a proper goalkeeper this time. Usually we just take turns. So. Nice to win, and nice to win 9-2 as well.
Here are the league tables after this week's results. And here are next week's fixtures. These are the ultimate moments of the week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's highlights. I've been Bilal and we'll see you next week. And just as a reminder, we're planning a presentation evening on the 13th of June, so please put the date in your diaries. Check on Facebook and ask on Friday for more details.